Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, it is fait accompli for the Nigerian state, and we're now in the vice grip, firmly in the vice grip of these people, and there's no escaping it. So guys, I bring you this. Ganduje, Kano PDP accepts Supreme Court verdict in good faith. So that's the headline. And before I go on, this is the Supreme Court that sacked a Hidioha, who was the popular choice in Imo State, and installed the APC guy there. So this is the same Supreme Court now that is now telling us that the Ganduje that was losing the election before INEC stopped the announcing of the results, because it was down by in excess of 100,000 votes when INEC stopped the results, and then by some magic tricks, by the time they continued, this guy suddenly emerged as the winner of that election. So this is what happened in Kano State, and the Kano State people, of course, all of them saw that viral video of this guy pocketing dollars, and they responded at the polling booth. But then, of course, within the Nigerian state, whatever happens in the polling booth counts for nothing. So again, the headline, Ganduje, Kano PDP accepts Supreme Court verdict in good faith. So now let's see exactly what is being said here. The Kano chapter of the People's Democratic Party PDP has accepted the verdict of the Supreme Court, which on Monday, January the 20th, favored Governor Abdullahi Ganduje. Speaking after the ruling of the Apex Court in Abuja, the chairman of the PDP in Kano, Rabiu Suleiman Bichi, said that the party has finally conceded defeat. Bichi said the decision of the opposition party came after it contested the victory of Ganduje in the last governorship election at the tribunal, the appeal court, and the Supreme Court. So really there's nowhere else to go after that. He said, "We are grateful to Almighty God for the current situation. As you know, we were at the High Court where the decision was not in our favor. We went for appeal. There too, it was not in our favor. Then we exploited the final option and went to the Supreme Court." Kano State PDP chairman said that the party will move forward and make plans to achieve victory in subsequent elections. Ganduje was declared validly elected by the Supreme Court in Abuja on Monday, January the 20th. He called on all party members to remain calm and maintain civility over the court's decision. Bichi said, "My call to our supporters is for them to remain calm over the recent development. Let's put hands together to move our party forward." So this is the position that's been adopted by this Bichi guy, who is the leader of the PDP in Kano State. It had been reported that the Supreme Court earlier in the day upheld the election of Ganduje as the executive governor of the state. The court gave its judgment in the suit filed by the PDP candidate Abba Kabir Yusuf, challenging the election of Ganduje, candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC. So that's the reaction of the PDP, but there are other reactions, of course, trailing this judgment. So here's another narrative. Kano/Sokoto, Deji Adeyanju, Nigerians react as Supreme Court affirms Ganduje Tambuwal victory. So that's the second headline. Kano/Sokoto, Deji Adeyanju, Nigerians react as Supreme Court affirms Ganduje and Tambuwal's victory. So now let's now see what other reactions there are to this Supreme Court judgment. Activist Deji Adeyanju and some other Nigerians have reacted to the ruling, which affirmed the election of Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State and Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State. The Supreme Court on Monday affirmed the election of Ganduje. Delivering the judgment, Justice Sylvester Nwata declared that the grounds of the two appeals brought by the appellant were dismissed for lack of merit. Also, the Supreme Court struck out the appeal brought by Ahmed Aliyu of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, challenging the Tambuwal's election. Justice Abba Aji, delivering judgment on Monday, affirmed that the appeal lacks merit as the appellant could not prove the grounds of his appeal, which inter alia involved overvoting and non-compliance with the electoral law. The Supreme Court ruling has generated diverse reactions from Nigerians on social media. Whilst some commended the Ganduje and Tambuwal victory at the Supreme Court, others queried the fairness of the judiciary. So here are some comments that's been gathered. Deji Adeyanju, so this is the lead comment that they're leading with. The same Supreme Court of Imo State just affirmed Ganduje's election in Kano. There is a big problem with our judiciary, and this is Mohammed A. A pregnant monkey will always bear an infant monkey. Corruption has won again in Kano. Ganduje's election affirmed by the Supreme Court, thanks to Buhari, who made Nigeria the corruption headquarters of the world. So another commentator, Ganduje is doing well in Kano, so Supreme Court affirming him today is good for democracy anyway. So this is what this person has to say. At Ila is the next commentator. See sentiment apart. The point is Tambuwal won the poll squarely. He is also a major and intelligent player in the caliphate politics, if you ask me. Supreme Court can't do that magic they did in Imo State in the north, or else they would have nullified Ganduje's election with ease. Here's a Malcolm A. Congratulations to Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, the most outstanding governor, as I always said, in terms of infrastructural development. It is said that there is no campaign after elections. Here is the best wishes as you pilot the affairs of Kano State for the next 3 years. The next commentator, so Ganduje's ill-gotten victory was upheld by the Supreme Court, right? This is what happens when you pick one of the cast of The Gods Must Be Crazy movie and make him CJN. Profound zoos. So that is what that person has to say. The next commentator is a Dr. Suleimani. Dr. Suleimani is what this person calls himself. Congratulations to the good people of Kano State. Carry on, Baba Ganduje, with the dividends of democracy, and please leave Kano Emirate Council out of political thuggery. Allow the ancient emirate to remain in peace. So this one now, I'm not quite sure where this one is weighing. I'm not sure if that is sarcasm or that is a real supporter of Dollar Ganduje. So the next commentator, Tambuwal wins, democracy is saved. Ganduje wins, democracy is in danger. Why are the PDPians confused? So now this is this one that is saying that, oh, when one weighs in your favor, you celebrate, but when one weighs against you, you don't celebrate. But really, what jars people the most is one, that Ehidioa verdict, which is a real travesty of justice, and this Ganduje now won, which is a real bastardization of the judicial process. This is just now effectively the law acting all along political lines. And we're talking about the Supreme Court of Nigeria, by the way. So now this now Tanko Mohammed, we can now see now the coloration now. So he's there to do a job, and that job that he is there to do is what we're seeing fleshing out over the last few months. This is the guy that told us that school start or no school start, Buhari will continue to be the president. It doesn't matter. Fake results or no fake results, it doesn't mean anything. Buhari will continue. This is the same guy that told us that Ehidioha is not the choice of Imo State, even though the whole of Imo State had had enough of Okorocha, and then they just wanted a new broom and a complete departure from that Okorocha and APC style. And the eastern region, by the way, is a PDP stronghold, so he's really a PDP person that is most likely to win that election, and a PDP person actually did win that election. But of course, they wanted to punish this guy and favor Okorocha and just do whatever it is that they're intending to do, and that is what played out. But what is really egregious, what really jars the senses the most, is this Abdullahi Ganduje one. This guy that the whole of Nigeria saw pocketing dollars, and the president came on national television to say that no, it is your eyes that is playing tricks on you, because what you saw is Photoshop. It's not this guy pocketing dollars. We all saw that video, and that video is still online till today. And the people of Kano State off the back of the outrage of that viral video, voted this guy out of office. But then, of course, by the magic trick that is INEC and Professor Mahmoud Yakub, this guy suddenly re-emerged as their governor again. And because of the outrage and the sense of injustice, these people went through all the legal system only to meet Tanko Mohammed at the head of it. And of course, anything that Tanko Mohammed heads, you know the direction that is going to follow. So this is now where we are in Nigeria. So then you can then understand, of course, now why I started off with that preamble that it is fait accompli for that country, and it is only God now that can rescue us, because we are now in the vice grip. They hold us and have us firmly by the neck, and there's no way to wiggle out. There's no wiggle room within the Nigerian space, because if the judiciary is not the custodian of justice and fair play for the average person or the aggrieved, then really there's nowhere else to turn. So where else do you turn after the Supreme Court? There's no hope really for anything to change. So it is God now that can rescue that country, because these people are just going to push through. And as they continue to get away with these things and continue to get away with these things, they will ratchet it up more and escalate it up more, and they will then suddenly become like a lord unto themselves. They're already a law unto themselves. They now become a lord unto themselves, and they can just do and undo at a whim. The commentator, one of the comments that I read out, even said it succinctly, that they can do it in Imo State, but they cannot do it in the north. So you can already see the divide then, the privileged and the unprivileged, or the not privileged. That is now the divide now in the Nigerian space, that they can do as they will within the southern regions and just brutalize you. We saw it all the way through in Ekiti State when they imposed Fayemi, in Osun State when they denied Adeleke, who was their choice, a bad choice, but their choice nonetheless. And then in Kano State where they rejected. So you can see these people now. You can see the agenda taking shape, and as they continue to get away with it and escalate it, which way then does the Nigerian turn to is really where the question is. If you have the answer to this question, then please come tell me all about it in the comment section. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns grey. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you're making of this goings on in Nigeria in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, carry on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.